Good.
The microphone.
Well, it will cover my lovely face.
Okay, so I'm gonna do here. I'm gonna talk here. Yo, sí, Malanda, ¿cómo estás?
But let me know when we start, okay?
Okay, I'll let you know. But right now,
Okay.
keep talking to me. Start counting, please.
Well,
1, 2,
I don't
3,
have a clue. What are
4,
you
5, 6,
gonna
7, 8,
ask
9,
me?
10.
I'm kind of worried. What you gonna ask me? Why I'm here? Because I'm a local foreigner. That's right. I don't know, supposedly.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I am your mom. Is that
Uh,
the reason? But I
Hello,
guess you
hello,
think I have
hello.
something
Hello.
funny to say or
Local
something interesting
foreigner.
or something
Why
crazy.
is it so hard?
You
Okay,
know,
there we
I
go.
have to
Hi,
be
hi.
just myself. With that, you should have enough,
Exactly.
more than enough.
More than enough.
Yes,
Muy bien.
yes.
It is. You are enough.
I am enough for everybody.
Hello. It is. Actually, you are too much.
I know.
Well, some people say you're
It's not
too
wonderful.
much. Hi, everybody. My name is Andrés Taboada. Welcome to Local Foreigner.
Inmigrante, expatriado, peruano vivo americano, y de aquí ni hay un expatriado, sino japonés, who's here and in his own land.
Today's guest, Local Foreigner, is somebody very special and dear to me. Her name is Aida Cohn. Did I pronounce that correctly?
Cohen.
Cohen? Okay.
Cohen.
But K-O-H-N, right?
Yes.
Even though she does not have the same name as I do, we don't have the same last name. She's actually my mother. Born in Peru. She moved to the States sometime in her 40s. Is that correct?
45.
Okay, 45. And most recently, she was a dancer in Peru, an actress. But most recently, she actually was part of the main cast of my feature film, Alta California. And we actually got to direct my mother. And today we're gonna catch up on everything about her life and how we came to be, how everything happened and how we ended up here.
Ended up here.
I guess my first question is, why do we have a different last name?
Oh, that's a big question.
That's a good.
But it's a good one.
Well, and also I want to say this is our first conversation in English. You and I have never spoken
Never.
English to each other.
Never.
Yeah,
That's the only part that I am scary about.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's okay.
yeah. And you can look at me too. You don't have to look at the camera.
No, my front is perfect.
No, but it is perfect. But
Okay.
then you're not talking to me. You know.
Okay, I will talk to you.
Talk
Okay,
to me. Talk to
okay.
me. Yeah, it's a conversation.
Okay.
What do I want to say? Why do we have a different last name?
Because my current husband is
Your
not your
current, the one
father.
for now. Your right now.
My-
Your husband at the moment.
No, don't
Go
say
ahead.
that.
Okay, okay.
Don't say that. No. No, my husband for now and ever, in the future,
Yeah.
for
Your
the rest of my life.
Your husband moving forward.
Exactly. Is Cohen. He's American Jewish.
Yeah, Israeli American, right?
Israeli American. Yes, that's the
I
best
was there.
word.
I was at your wedding. I gave you
Yes,
away.
I know. That was the best day of my life.
I walked you down the aisle.
Yes, my son walked me in the aisle,
Uh-huh.
and he has a wonderful speech about me that I say, oh my gosh, he's talking about me.
Yeah.
It
Can you
was
get closer
difficult to
the mic, please?
recognize
Closer
him.
to the mic, or like
Okay, I am
bring it
here.
to your face. There you go.
Okay, I'm
Perfect,
better now?
perfect. Yeah, that's
Okay,
awesome.
Excellent.
Excelente.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the day actually I moved from Miami to LA.
know.
We arrived in LA, and the next day was your wedding, and I
Yes.
gave you away
Yeah.
to a nice Jewish man because I
Yes,
want nothing
yes.
but the best for you.
It
you know?
was wonderful,
It
really
was great,
wonderful.
Yeah. That was such a fun wedding.
Yes.
No, it was awesome. Very emotional too. In the summer, it was beautiful down in Irvine, California.
Can I say something about
You
that?
can say whatever you want. You can interrupt me as
My
much as you want.
kids, I have
Yeah.
my kids dancing with me and Strauss waltz. Can you imagine that? He danced in my wedding.
Mommy, talk to me.
Oh.
Stop talking to the camera.
I'm not talking.
Yeah,
okay.
You're having
Sorry, I'm not used
We're
to
having a conversation.
interviews.
Talk
I'm
to me,
used
talk
to,
to me.
to
Look at me,
act.
look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. Mírame, mírame. Ponte tu micrófono ahí.
Okay,
Yeah, you can
okay,
get it
I'm
closer.
doing
We can
right.
speak, and we can speak Spanglish. It's
Okay,
fine.
okay.
Yeah. What's
Are
that?
you gonna put that in the video?
Everything. Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
my God. Well,
As long
okay.
as it's funny, I'll put it.
Okay.
What I want to tell you is, I want to start with some easy questions, right? Because we're here to have fun.
Yes, please.
So, talk to me. What's wrong with me?
Oh my God. Here we start, but I will need like 3 videos.
That's
at least
okay.
for
That's
that.
okay. Just whatever comes to mind. So, what's my problem? You think?
I don't know. You were a wonderful
No.
kid.
You can be okay. Go ahead. But you can be honest.
You were
be
a
honest.
wonderful, lovely kid with your mom. Your mom was God for you. I don't know what happened.
What do you mean?
I am not God for you
You're
anymore.
definitely not God. No, you shouldn't, and you shouldn't be. By the way, to anybody.
Okay.
That's not okay.
No.
You're definitely not a God to me. You're my mother. I love you very much.
Thank
You know I love
you.
you, right? You know I love
Of
you, right?
course.
Good. But then what happened? So what's wrong with me now, though? What would you say? What are things I could work on and to improve on? What do you think will be?
Oh my God, that's
Yeah.
a difficult question.
No, it's not. Be honest,
Yes,
please.
yes,
This is your
yes.
chance to
To say whatever I
yeah,
want.
and exactly. You get to say whatever. You can be honest. I don't care if it makes me look bad. I can edit stuff out, So just tell me whatever you want and be honest. Don't try to make it nice. Like just tell me what do you think I should work on?
I will tell you, I admire you because you are starting with your passion. When you were in your 20s that you asked me, Mom, do you think I can do this? And I say, probably it's too late for you. You
Well,
should have showed that when you were a kid.
This is what I
but
said.
look when you are doing it, and you are really. I think you are successful.
Thank you.
I love your movie. I love your interviews. I love what you are doing. It's your passion, and when someone follows their passion, that's the best.
Yeah, no. I feel very lucky that I do get to follow my dreams now.
Yeah.
I remember when I was 23 and I was taking biology classes and all that, and I realized that it wasn't what I wanted to do. And I started to watch interviews about filmmaking and reading books on filmmaking.
I know.
And I remember wanting to take an acting class. And then I said to you, Mama, I think I want to get into acting. Do you remember what you said to me? You said, son, I've seen you act. You don't have it. And that was so great. But then when I started doing stand-up comedy and film, you were my biggest supporter from the very beginning.
Yes.
So I think what you're really good at is once I tell you what I'm doing, you're full supportive. If I tell you what I'm thinking of doing, then you might be more reserved, I think, right?
Well, because I always remember when I organized different shows,
Yeah.
different
Can you get closer to the
fashion
mic, please?
fashion shows with you, and you were, I don't want to do this, Mom. I don't want to do this, Mom.
Yes.
I hate this, right?
I totally remember that.
I know.
I think,
I
but
know.
that's what I think it was.
That was a surprise.
But that's what I think it was, is because I didn't know actors could be shy. You can be shy and be an actor.
Yeah.
You can be shy and be a stand-up comedian. It's not, which was surprising, because you're talking in front of,
Yeah.
hundreds of people.
Yes.
But back then I remember, I hated that stuff, because they would make me dance when I didn't want to dance.
I know.
They wanted me to be very expressive, like a show kid, like an actor kid, like a child actor, hey everybody. And I wasn't like that back then. I was, but in private,
You were very funny.
in
Always
private,
very
right?
funny.
Yeah.
Yes, in private.
And then I had a horrible experience when I was 7. You got me to that commercial, remember, for the cars.
Yes. I was working at that time in an advertising company.
Yeah. Is that what it was?
Yes.
No, your friend was.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I was too. Well, before I was before for years.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
my career. I studied communications in the
That's
University
right.
of Lima.
That's
Yes.
right. What was the company? Do you remember? That you were-
Probably was Publicitas IMA.
yeah. 'Cause
Yes.
the
I love that company.
The third company was UDE. UDE, it was a chalk car. Se llama
No,
Chocar.
that was the company that Publicitas IMAs do the advertising for.
Yeah.
That
Oh,
was
got it,
like
got
a
it.
toys, a toy company. They manufacture toys, and the agency did the commercials.
And then
something like that.
you knew that lady. I think her name was Patricia, puede ser?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's right.
And then you got us a commercial
Yeah.
through her.
Yes.
We knew her from
Yes.
San Bartolo, remember?
Yes.
And so here's what happened. I went to the commercial,
Yeah.
and I kept making a mistake because I kept pressing the button on the car, and it was not working. And you
Yeah.
were not even in the room.
Yeah, no, they didn't allow me to.
They didn't allow you to
No.
be in the room. And there's no rules in Peru like here, I think. Because the guy started yelling at me, the director, in
Yeah.
his 30s or whatever.
Oh,
I was crying.
But that was bad.
And
Bad
I was locked in a
director.
room,
Yes.
dark room. And I was like, and I remember I was 7. I was like, I will never do this ever
Of
again.
course.
But we did you would do fashion shows, I remember. Adriana was all about it. I did one fashion show with you. And then I did a commercial. I did a pilot for a kids' TV show too.
Yes,
Nuestro
yes.
Mundo Splash,
Yes.
which translates to our Splash World.
Splash word.
And I remember Adriana and Alejandra got cast.
Yes.
I was like the main cast, and I got cast as like an extra or something because I was not about it. I
Yes.
was shy, you know. I wasn't trying to show off,
Yes, I remember all
which is
that.
crazy because I am now. Look at me, you know.
Yes.
So just such a weirdo, but such a clown.
Yes.
But yeah, back then I remember being shy about it and not wanting to be myself for everybody, you know, just be myself in private. Then I was funny, you know, and more comfortable. You still haven't answered
I
the
want
question
to say
though.
something that is
Yeah,
very
please, whatever.
important for a director. I did some choreography. I direct some shows too,
Mm-hmm.
and more of dance. I will explain later what I did and
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that time.
I will ask you too.
And the director has to get the best of the actor,
Mm-hmm.
of the dancer, of whatever. You have to have the best.
Yeah.
If you scream or if they are kids, can you imagine? That's totally crazy, totally wrong.
Yeah. No, that was terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was terrible. I should probably turn off the fan. I'm gonna do that right now.
Oh, this is fun.
Fun, right?
Yeah. Nom, 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 nom.
All right. Okay, so you're being nice, and I appreciate that.
Wait, we
but you-
started already?
Yeah, we never stop recording. It's,
Oh
it's
my
recording
gosh.
the whole time. Yeah.
Ay,
But I can cut whatever we don't use.
Okay.
What I wanted to say is you're being very nice, which I appreciate, but I want you to still answer my question. What's wrong with me? What should I work on? And I want you to be honest. Like, what do you think are things I could improve on? There you go. That's nice. Don't worry about it.
I
This
say
is
what
good content.
I really think.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think.
So I should work on that.
Yes, you asked me what. The only thing that you have to work on it.
That's it? Really?
Yes, everything.
No,
else.
I think I'm irritable. I think I'm impatient.
That's part of the food.
Okay, that's part of the food.
Yes.
Yeah. But maybe that's also have Tourette syndrome, you know, right? And all these things are like, I'm not excusing it, but it is part of the profile of somebody with Tourette syndrome: irritability, lack of patience, ADHD. So, am I impatient, irritable, or am I what you said? And it's fine if you believe it's what I said.
Can I say?
Yeah, you can be honest.
I think I say what I said.
Okay, so how should I work on that? What should I do to get better at that, you think?
Try to see that everybody has something that you have to admire, that you have to respect, and that you have the opportunity to love. It's love, respect, patience,
Got it. But I
and
think
be nice.
There's people out there too that here's the difference between you and me.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. When you see somebody, I think you give them the benefit of the doubt always. Like if you see somebody, I think your first reaction is like, oh, I'm gonna like this. How can I like this person? How I can include this person? With me, I'm much more reserved. Like, what's up with this person? You know,
Yeah.
like, let me see. Okay, no, I don't like that. I don't like that. No,
Yeah.
I'm definitely way more intolerant
Yes.
than you
yes.
are, for sure.
That's the word. That's a good word. Intolerance.
Intolerant.
Yes.
I like that. I like that
Yes.
better than monster who preys on weak people.
No. You're not a monster.
Yeah,
You're
I'm not a monster.
intolerance.
Okay, please making that clear. I'm not a monster.
Yes, he's.
All right, ladies, please.
He's not a monster. Okay. And he's single now. Just saying.
Yeah, and by the way, you are my mom.
I know.
How did you create a monster?
I didn't create a monster. You copy the other side.
That's my dad. Got it. Yeah, he definitely had some influence for sure. We had a tough childhood. That was tough. That was rough. We had a
Yeah.
rough childhood.
I know.
And yeah, but I think we're doing okay, no? Despite everything.
You're doing my three kids.
Our three
You're
kids.
the second one.
Yeah.
And
I am the second one. Yes.
yes.
Yeah. So your favorite. I'm your favorite. I really think that if you could say it,
You are the ham in the sandwich.
el jamón. I think if you could say it, you would say I'm your favorite. To be honest, I honestly believe I'm your favorite kid.
A good thing of a mother. My three kids thinks that they are the favorite.
Oh. Yeah, no, but they're delusional. The other thing I wanted to ask, you mentioned this actually. Yeah,
Yes.
in Peru, you were a dancer. You did ballet. You were an actress. You were on a TV show at one point for like a Christmas special, right? Yeah, can you get the mic closer?
It
to you?
was.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes,
go ahead.
I started with classic ballet.
Uh-huh.
Then I didn't like the classic ballet. The structure was too much for me. And then I went to modern ballet. And that was more expressive, and I love it. I really. And I have the opportunity. There was an engineer and a poetess that she...
A poet?
A poet.
Uh-huh.
A woman, no?
Yeah.
Woman.
Poet.
And also, I can say the name, Luis Alvarez. He was an incredible actor, very well known in the 80s. And we created a group that the name was Art and Science, because there was the first synthesizer, electronic synthesizer, that this electronic engineer was composing pieces. The poet put her poems, and I have a group with my friends. I direct that group, and I did the choreographies, and we dance more than music. We dance the poems. We dance the words. It was kind of acting with dancing. It was really
that sounds
beautiful.
Cool. So the poet would like read the poem or recite the poem.
There was in one of the shows, the last shows was Luis Alvarez, that was an incredible actor. He was saying, reciting the poems. He was reciting the poems, and his voice was so beautiful. And I was like, well, always the main character. I was the choreographer, the director, and the main character, right?
Wow.
And I was just dancing the words and communicating the words more than the music. The music was with this synthesizer that was more than just sounds to back up the words. It was incredible,
cool.
really. It was incredible. We did probably, I would say 8-10 shows. That I was in my 20s, in my 20s.
Sorry, let me just lean back. Yeah, and you can just lean back. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, I was in my 20s, and it was an incredible, very rich experience. And part of that, I was in a modern ballet group with Hilda Riveros. I want to mention her name.
Hilda
Riveros.
Yeah.
She went, after that, she went to direct the modern ballet with in Cuba.
Oh, wow.
In Cuba, with Alicia Alonso Academy. No, because Alicia Alonso was not there anymore, but she went to direct the modern part of that. She was an incredible, and the CETU, that was the theater, the group of theater for the University, Catholic University of Lima. They want to create like a version of Jesus Christ Superstar, but in the Virgin Mary. Someone came with this idea, and I remember was Paco Francisco. Well, was Paco. Was the writer, he was a poet too. And what was the name of this wonderful singer?
Peruvian singer?
A wonderful singer, very well known in Peru. Now she's famous in Mexico.
Okay.
I will remember the name, I'm telling you.
You can tell me later and I'll add it.
She was singing the songs. One was like the Magnificat. No? The idea was to present the Virgin Mary like a normal woman, including she show up for the first time, probably pregnant.
Yeah.
No? And what the story and how Virgin Mary really was so grateful that God decided to come to the world through a woman. It was not a Christmas show.
Yeah, we were at my
family.
Yeah, on Christmas we'd always do the nativity scene.
Yes,
I was Joseph because I was the only boy. 7 female cousins.
Yeah.
My little sister was baby Jesus.
Jesus.
And Adriana was Maria Magdalena, Mary Magdalene.
Yes, because
the town's
yes.
prostitute.
What?
Mary Magdalene was a prostitute, no?
Yes.
Yeah. Why did you make your daughter a prostitute?
Because I want her for Virgin Mary. And they did the other,
Amanda was Virgin Mary.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, how about just putting her like as a camel or like one of the three kings?
So mean. Well, the main thing of that, shut up. The main thing of that was when I was reading, no? Because everybody was just the family. Everybody was listening. Yeah. And I start reading about how Joseph asked Maria, why are you pregnant? And she says, what's it? Holy Spirit. And everybody was kind of it's like you never talk about that
In
at
Peru,
that
you don't
time.
talk about
No,
that.
Never,
Yeah,
never,
yeah,
never
yeah.
talk
And
about
especially
that.
back then,
And then
yeah.
I saw the faces in everybody, and I start singing the Magnificat that I learned from the show that I did in the Catholic University. And they start like, what is this? They didn't, I don't know, they want to laugh probably about my singing, but anyway, it was a beautiful memories. Do you have
Yeah.
a good memory about that?
About the Christmas shows?
Yeah.
it was super nice. We did
Yes.
the nativity scene. The one year we did the burrito sabanero. We did that. And I was always Joseph. So
Yeah.
no, that was good Christmases when my grandfather was still alive.
Yes, that
those
was
were
nice.
nice.
That was
Those were
nice.
actually
That
some
was
good
nice.
Christmases. So my question is,
Yes.
and you did a Christmas special too, right? Does that separate from Jesus Christ Superstar, or is it the same thing?
No, that was the Jesus Christ
And that was on
Superstar,
TV.
the Virgin Mary Super. I don't remember how was the name of the show. This was for the Setuc.
But
as I
it showed
call
up on TV, didn't
on
it?
TV, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, okay.
And I was as a choreographer.
Wow.
And I was 23 years old. I was a choreographer and the director and the main dancer. No, and
That's
my friends
amazing.
were the.
So
were
you were doing
dancers.
all this stuff. When did you stop performing? Yeah, when did you start performing, and why?
Well, what happened is with these shows that I was doing in different places, I was acquiring kind of fame. And at some point, I have to choose between my artistic career
Yeah.
or my future and my
Yes.
life. And at that point, I was the only child of my mother. And, I thought, and the pressure was too much because my mother was very, very powerful. I mean, she put my name in all the newspapers, in everywhere. And I saw, or I dedicate my life to the art that in Peru was impossible to live from art, or I just moved this away. And I still, with my career in the university, I was already working, and that's it.
You worked for Jambal, was it?
That's all. Yes,
Jambal,
was
right?
Jambal. First, I worked for advertising companies.
Yeah.
Then I went to Jambal, no, and then after that I went back to advertising companies. It was incredible because the Ivan Mancini was my professor in the university, and he selected me of all the people that he has. He selected me to work with him, and he looked for me, and he said, "I want you to come and work with me as a redactor." Yes,
Okay, no, I
redaction.
thought you were gonna tell me on one of those stories, that the teacher meets the pretty
Yes.
student,
Yeah,
and-
that's the other problem that you have. Your mind.
No,
Be
but
clean.
it's like mine because that's the 80s. I mean, you never know. You
Gee,
were
no.
beautiful, I'm sure.
Oh no,
I
but
don't
I
like
was
this guy.
very. I tell you, I was very the soul of the party, but a very very nice girl. I didn't
Yeah.
drink. I didn't smoke. I was.
You didn't smoke?
really-
You smoked,
I started later.
and because your mom told you. Your mom told you to smoke.
Cigarros,
Cigarettes.
cigarettes.
Yeah. You don't smoke weed. You've never smoked weed.
No.
Yeah. You want to? Just kidding.
Oh, I smoked weed once.
With us?
No.
No. Okay.
No. Then no, I didn't smoke weed with you.
No, we
Guys,
didn't. We
I
tried.
smoked
We tried. Yeah.
Well, it was I was in the University of Lima.
Yeah.
They used to
Which
call
is
the
now-
University
which is renowned,
of Lima.
renowned for smoking weed, right?
They call the airport
Oh yeah.
because you landed there.
You landed there.
No,
Yeah.
but because I was a very outgoing person, sometimes my friend thinks that she had to smoke
Yeah.
for sure. This
Yeah,
was
you
the,
do sound high
the
sometimes.
70s or the 80s, right?
Yeah.
And no.
Yeah, sometimes I think
No.
it would be easy to think that you're high, but you're not.
I know.
I know.
I,
You're just-
I am. It's the way that I am.
You're
I always,
you're just like that.
I
Very,
always
very
like me there.
joyful.
Oh yes,
And then
yes.
sometimes you get a little confused.
Yes, like he always say like what?
Yeah. You do that. You get confused. Yeah, and you were still in a way advertising can be kind of artistic, so I could see why you picked it. But then at one point you stopped working in advertising too. Why did you stop working in advertising?
Well, because I was in a company, Publicita Cima, that was the last one, where we were working for political campaigns. And it was, you never end until 3 o'clock in the morning. the whole night was really hard. And then I got married. I got married, and with your dad, we decided that I will do something different because it was very difficult to be married and have that type, but included its social life.
Yeah.
No,
and back then, it wasn't, I mean, I'm guessing that it was less common for a woman to be a career woman anyway, right? Or not?
Well, in my generation, we start. Not everybody. I will say, I can't tell you how many of my classmates, I ended in a school that we were 120 classmates for 11 years. We were first 60, and then another school came with us, and we were 120 per class, no? And from them, probably, I will say professionals are 25, 30%.
Yeah, and about that, I remember that happened because you went to Sofianum in Peru, which was at the time a very prestigious school, right?
It was a very prestigious school, and we were, yes, girls with raised by nuns, and I was 11 years in that school because in Peru you start in kindergarten and you finish high school.
The same people,
the same people, the same classmates. Just different teachers, but it was a great experience.
But then, weren't the nuns kind of mean?
Oh.
Yeah, they were mean.
Well, when I didn't understand, when you're a kid and they ask questions, because in my school, you have to be the daughter of someone, the granddaughter of someone.
What's your last name?
What is your last name?
In Peru.
I remember my name. I say, your last name doesn't
ring a bell.
Me. Ring a bell. And I was, my last name doesn't have music. Sorry about that. But it was like that. But I was in that school more because of my father's family. That in Arequipa, in Peru, there is Lima, Arequipa, and the south, and Trujillo,
and everything else.
Yeah,
and really, it's just Lima,
Yeah, it's very centralized country. I think it's still centralized.
Yeah. If you meet people here, if I don't know them, I know somebody who knows them because everybody here is from Lima, from a certain part of Lima, and that's why there's always like 2 degrees of separation between every Peruvian here, pretty much.
Exactly.
So it's kind of crazy.
Big
how
difference.
That works.
Yes.
You don't want people to think that all immigrants know each other, but chances are if you're Peruvian, you do know whoever Peruvian they're talking about. We're still like a newer group of immigrants in a way, So then you stopped doing advertising to be a mom.
Yes. I started working. I started working in kind of a different way. I was more in marketing.
Yeah.
That finally it was my career too, but I just have normal hour office, and I remember it was beautiful because I was doing in a these wallpapers, for houses, to different decorations, and I started doing the decorations for these wallpapers, and I enjoy it so much. I remember a big store, and I have these papers hanging for the roof. It was a very high roof, and Christmas decorations with trees and with this paper. I really enjoy it so much. I was very good at that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because I don't remember when I was born. I mean, whatever. Since I can remember, the only thing I remember of you working was you working with my dad.
Yes.
So when did that start? When did you start working with my dad?
Well, what happened? One of the reasons that I married your dad is
naivety.
I know.
Not knowing better.
Yeah, and was that when he was, following me, asking me out, and all that.
How did he get you?
I will tell you.
Because I've seen pictures of you younger.
Yeah.
I mean, you're beautiful, of course. You're a beautiful woman
you,
at 7 years old. She's 7 years old, by the way.
How much?
70. You're 70 years old.
You don't have to tell it.
You've posted it on social media.
I know.
So you're beautiful now. So back then you were gorgeous.
Thank you.
And my dad, he was handsome, I think. But I think you could have gotten married with anybody. I think you could have married whoever you wanted to marry. So why settle for that?
Well, first of all, if I tell you the truth.
yeah. I want to know the
Okay,
truth.
here it goes.
The dirty.
I was 25 years old. And in Peru at that time, this was 1979, yes? In Peru at that time, if you passed the 24, you were, oh my God,
Old
you
lady.
will just dress the saints. I don't know how to say that in English, but
En
it's
español,
like
¿cómo se dice en español?
vestir a los santos.
I don't. Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, dress the saints,
Like
okay?
meaning- like
that
mean
you
you're-
will go to the church and dress the saints, and you will just.
You're an old maid. You're an old
because
maid.
if you don't marry at 24,
A
and I was,
spinster. I think they
I
call
was
it a
25
spinster.
because I was working in art. My life was so full of everything, and also I was supporting Luis Bedoya Reyes.
What is
was,
that?
He was for president, and I was also in the political party.
No, but that was your job. That was your job.
No.
Volunteer?
My job and as a volunteer.
Why?
Because I love it.
You love what?
I love it. I love everything.
Politics?
At that time, yes.
Yeah? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
yes.
You do love everything and everyone. You're very positive, and I
Well,
think
I
that's why
try.
that's the biggest difference between you and me.
Yeah.
I'm very cynical,
Yes.
and I'm trying not to be. And by the way, I do wish I was more like you in that regard. Trust me, like I do wish. You see everything through rose-colored glasses, as Americans say, and I don't at all. I see them through the,
Smoke.
when they do like when they do a Mexican movie,
Cloud?
when they do a Mexican movie and
Yeah.
it's like a yellow tint to the movie, that's
okay.
that's how I see the world.
Yeah, throw away that lens. Of
No, I
course.
like it. It's good.
No, clean it up.
No, it's good movies. Good movies. But I think that's where we are most different. And I think but do you think it's useful? And you can say no.
Yeah.
Do I offer any usefulness in that regard to you that I say, hey, you know what? Maybe watch out for that person. Is that useful to you or not? You can say no. It's fine.
Of course, I encounter people that was mean or
Yeah.
not nice with me. Of course, not many. Thanks
No,
God,
not
not
many,
many.
yeah.
I would say probably I have 2 ladies that they don't like me, but
Yeah.
everybody else, I suppose, they like me, and they know they really.
Yeah, no. I think the only mean people
They really hide it
I
very
think the
well.
only mean people you encounter, you married them. But not the last one. Eli, I love him. He's the best.
He's wonderful.
He's awesome. You guys have a great marriage, and
Yes,
you party
yes.
every weekend, which is
Well.
great. You have a very active social life, which is so
Yeah.
cool. You
I
dance
like
every
people.
weekend. You like people.
I like people. I love to be with people. I can be by myself, but if I have a choice, I will be with
Yeah.
people all the
And
time.
you also were like, I think it's also because of the way you were raised. You were the only daughter.
Yes.
Your mom passed away. It was just you alone in the world at 21. No, that's not true.
27.
27. So, but even when you were younger, you told me that you would do Christmas parties and invite all your friends, right? You would
Not
didn't you do something like that?
No. Well, what happened? Well, but that's another story, a long story.
You can say-
My mother was very depressive person, but
Yeah.
she lost her son,
Her son when she was
husband.
younger.
She lost
husband.
everything, and I was the
Yeah.
punching molder
No, that's
for
right.
her.
Yeah.
But anyway, the thing is that it was she got depressed every Christmas.
No, shit.
And I decided to not be depressed. When I went to the store, buy my rotisserie chicken, and put my table so beautiful. You know that I like to put the
I know.
table
Christmas
wonderful.
is
Put the table so
holidays.
beautiful. I remember one cousin, he arrived to say, hey, Daddy. They used to call me Daddy in Peru. Hey, Daddy, I just want to say Merry Christmas to you, and then I go to my house. My family is waiting. What are you doing? Oh, your table looks beautiful. Yes. If you want, we can eat now. Why? What are you going to, who is coming to spend Christmas
Who asked
with
you
you?
that? Who's that? Who's this person asking you this?
Oh, he died.
Who is he?
My cousin.
Oh, okay. You have a cousin?
Daniel Escobar.
Okay.
Yeah. He was my friend, my cousin.
Got it.
And I say, well, it's just for me because my mother is depressed in
Yeah.
her room.
That's
and, I will have a good Christmas.
Yeah.
I say, what? Just by yourself? Oh, no, I will call my father will tell you that I stay with you. And he did.
Uh-huh.
His father wanted to kill him.
Okay.
no? My uncle. And we spent that, I remember,
Yeah.
we received Christmas like New Year with luggage all around
Yeah,
the
yeah,
block,
yeah.
and we eating grapes, and
Grapes.
it
12
was
grapes, right?
a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful
So I think that's why.
memory.
Don't you think that's why probably holidays are such a big deal to you?
Oh, yes.
They're
yes.
huge, right?
Yes.
And I
yes.
think for us growing up, I remember because you were so intense about it, and
I
because it was really
know.
important for you.
Yeah.
But I know I understand it. I get why.
Yeah.
And of course, at that age, I didn't understand it. So I was just like, "Oh, my mom makes such a big deal of these holidays,"
I
but I get it. I mean, looking back at your childhood, it makes total sense
Yes.
why you would care so much about the holidays.
Yes.
Um,
That's right.
Yeah. So no, I get it. That's sad, actually. It's sad that how that
No,
worked
no, no,
out.
no, no.
Yeah.
Everything happened for a reason, and you know what? It's not what happened to you. It's what you make of that. And at some point in my very young, I decided, I will, as the present my mother, and I will just hate life and hate people, or I will be a person that look to be happy every day. And I still waking every day trying to have the best day of my life that day.
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it doesn't work, of course, something
Of
happens.
course, yeah.
But that's the intention every day.
Yeah,
every
no.
morning you will see I say, hey, hello, good morning.
Yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
you definitely lived life that way for sure.
Yes, thanks God.
Yeah, and that's how we differ as well. Because I definitely don't. But I'm jealous. I wish I could wake up like you. Like you, because I feel like you wake up like this. And I wish
Well,
I could
I
do
don't
that.
put that
You know,
face,
I wish
right?
I wish I could wake up like that. You know,
Yes.
sometimes I do. Sometimes I do.
It's matter that you have to decide
You have
what
to,
you
yeah.
want. You have to decide. I say, you know what?
I agree.
I will be a happy person. Nothing will bother me. That's not true because always something bother me and then change the mood. But at least you try to be that day the best day of your life. If something changed, well, usually are foreign agents.
Yes. I was actually looking into. Do you know who Tom Segura is? Tom Segura. He's a
my
Peruvian. He's Peruvian American. He's a very famous comedian.
Oh.
And his mom is
yes,
called
yes, yes.
Charo Segura.
Yeah.
And I looked her up because I thought maybe you knew her and had friends in common. You don't, or maybe you do.
How old is she?
She's like 10 years old, a bit older than you. I'm gonna say
10 years is a lot.
5 to 10 years. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
but that's a lot.
And that's why you probably don't have friends in common.
Yeah.
But she did go to Sagrado Corazon, which is the
Yes,
group
yes, yes.
of schools we went
Sacred
to.
Heart
Yeah,
is
yeah,
famous
Sacred Heart,
here,
yeah, yeah.
all around the world.
Yeah, yeah.
You know who was in Sacred Heart?
Who?
Caroline Kennedy. Lady Gaga.
Got it. Who? Hold on.
Caroline Kennedy.
Yeah, but like as in like what's her name? Jackie Onassis. You mean Jackie O?
I don't know. By Caroline Kennedy
Okay,
for
okay, okay.
sure. Jackie Onassis?
Oh,
Probably, I
Sacred
don't
Heart.
know.
Because
Sacred
there's a Sacred
Heart.
Heart here too.
Yeah, Sacred Heart is around the world.
Okay, okay,
including
got it.
Japan.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Princess Michiko visited our
Because she saw that
our
it's
school.
supposed to be a
Yes,
sisterhood
yes,
of schools.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you were saying also like you went to Sofianum, but and then the other school was Chalet.
Chalet,
and then it was
exactly.
an earthquake. And
There
that
was
school,
in 1970, there was an earthquake. The Chalet was Sacred Heart Chalet, Sacred Heart Sofianum. In the Sofianum school, we have, a salon for studies, salon for this, salon
classroom,
for that.
classrooms,
no?
Yeah.
And then we used to eat in the, in the comedor, in the
Dining hall.
Dining, and we have a president of the table that she has to look the way that we eat. We have to peel with a knife the mangoes. That was
Yeah.
very difficult.
I think
And the nuns were around to see how you eat. That was until 1970. In 1970, there was an earthquake. And Sacred Heart Chalet got destroyed. It was close to the ocean because of the earthquake. And then all the girls or the alumni has to come to the Sacred Heart Sofiano. And then we don't have classes for anything. All was just for the alumni.
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 Yeah.
And that's my
Problem.
British accent.
Yeah, no, it's your Peruvian accent.
Peruvian accent.
Yeah.
And you're taking me out of.
No, but I want people to understand what you're saying.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Alumni,
okay.
what the hell?
Okay, alumni.
Alumni.
The
Yeah.
alumni. And then we start eating, like the rotisserie chicken with our hands in the patio because everything changed. Everything changed in 97.
Also, that school was a lower class school? Is that what happened?
No, don't
No,
say
okay.
that. No.
Okay.
But to tell you the truth, it was more family school. The girls bring a new blood because our school everything was so elitist, everything was so...
That's what I'm saying.
Kind of what we call pituco. My classmates will kill me. Don't get upset with me, classmates, if you see this video, please.
I can take it out if you want.
No,
good.
Well,
I wasn't going to.
We were different. The Sofiano were,
Super high, they call it high society.
I don't know, because the other girls were probably great families of Peru, of Lima, very well known, but I don't know, they were more normal, if I will say.
Sofiano
and this new blood, Chalet, and this new blood that came to the Sofiano.
Like sangre?
I will say blood because he's...
But I just want to know what word you're saying.
Like you have a transfusion.
So it is blood, you're saying. Blood. Okay, blood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blood.
I just want to understand what I want them to understand what you're saying. I don't mind you having an accent.
I hope you're understanding everything that I say. If not, just ask him.
Talk to me.
Oh, talk to him.
Yeah. We're having a conversation.
Ask him. Well, the thing is, they came to the school, and this is my better side. I have
it doesn't matter. We're talking a conversation.
Okay.
Yeah.
You take me out of place.
It's fine, I know.
Okay, then these girls really changed everything, and we were more normal with them. You can imagine how good was for Sacred Heart Sofiano to have the girls from Sacred Heart Chalet to come with us. And then we become ones, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
I tell you, with these friends, I will have a trip this year, 42 friends, we are going to a vacation trip.
That's beautiful.
Yes,
You guys do that once a year, right?
No, every probably 5 years, but we are starting to see that every 5 years we have less and less alumni.
That's so sad. Yeah, damn. Yeah.
No, and
well, my grandfather did stuff with his class until he passed away, and then my grandma continued that tradition, and every year will be fewer and fewer people.
Yes.
That's so. What's that like?
We are not there. I guess the people used to.
But soon.
Die sooner. Now we have some classmates that are not with us anymore, but not many. No.
I want to say something about your school that I thought was cool, because it sounds elitist to have they call it here a finishing school, I think.
Yeah.
And it sounds elitist to be like, have to eat this way and use this fork for that, and you made us learn that when we were younger. And honestly, now looking back, I'm glad you made us learn that. Because to me now, if I meet somebody, you can be the most gorgeous woman on earth. If you eat badly, I'm out.
I know.
I'm so grossed out by that. And I like that. I like being an elitist immigrant.
Yes.
I like it.
Yes,
it's good.
I am very proud of my school. I'm really glad of the formation that I have as a kid. And it was difficult, but at the end here, I try to bring my school in some way, and we have a group that it calls Somos. We are Sacred Heart. Somos Sagrado Corazón. And we bring alumni from everywhere. Alumni. He say it. That.
You say it.
Alumni.
There you go.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, and what I was saying, see, you're taking me out of
Somos
place.
Sagrado Corazón.
We are Sacred Heart of Somos Sagrado Corazón, and we have friends that come. We start with 16 girls, now we are like 35, 38 girls that we get together once a year. Some came from another state, and we preserve our memories from the school, because it doesn't matter that they are from different schools, probably different countries, but together we have the same formation, the same memories, and that is wonderful.
When you say formation, you mean education?
Education. Education. Yes.
What I wanted to say is, so going back to Peru, you then have as kids, then you start working with my dad at one point, and he had different businesses, and
you asked why I married your dad.
Oh yeah, why did you marry him?
I will tell you. There was Arla Bank was coming to Peru.
Arab Bank.
No, the name was Arla Bank.
Oh, okay, got it.
That
but it was from, what is it, an Arab?
Arab Bank.
Yeah, Banco Árabe.
Yes.
So what is
Banco Árabe.
So, so Arab Bank.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it.
It's not Arab Bank, it's Arab Bank.
Yeah.
Arab Bank. Okay. It came and it was wow, everybody wants to work there. Oh my gosh, the most intelligent people. And they accepted just 4 of the people that put their curriculum and their resume, no?
Yeah.
They accepted 4. One of the 4 was your dad.
Yeah.
I say, oh
you
my
know
God.
why though, right? You know why they hire him? Because he went to Oklahoma his parents, my grandparents had money at the time. They sent him to Oklahoma to go to school.
Yeah.
He stayed there for 10 years, does a bunch of cocaine, never graduates. But when he came back to Peru, he applied to that job and they said, where do you go to school? Oklahoma State University. They were like, oh my God. You know, they didn't know the rest.
But I will say something.
I remember this clearly. They didn't ask him if he graduated.
Yes.
So therefore he just said he went there.
Yes.
And that's why they hired him.
Exactly.
There you go.
But he was always
Great.
very
Can we please turn that off?
Isn't
Yeah,
right?
you have to turn it off. Otherwise, we're going to have to keep it. Yeah.
Can you stop?
No, we have to turn it off because otherwise it's going to keep ringing.
No. But let me go there.
Of course,
Okay.
Yeah. We were saying,
¿Estábamos en qué?
You were saying, why did you marry my dad? Okay, so he got the job at Banco Árabe. And I actually remember this story. You said when you met him, he was living with his parents, doing nothing. And then you said, hey, dude, I'm not going to marry you like this. Like, you need to be somebody. Yes. And then he got that job at Banco Árabe. And you were like, hey, look, this guy is willing to change his whole life for me. I should reconsider.
And
right?
I should, yes, and here you are.
Ponte.
I married your dad after 9 months of meeting.
9 months?
9
wow,
months.
That's fast. But back then it was normal, right?
Yes. No. Usually they, 3, 4 years.
Did you live together before?
No, never.
Wow.
Never.
No, I'm grateful that you met my dad because I'm here and I think I'm a gift. Yeah, I mean it's weird. Of course, looking back, he wasn't a good guy, and I wish, of course, none of that had happened. But it had to happen, Like not only had to happen, but it was like there's no change in the past. Is what I'm saying, So
well.
Yeah, you can change the past.
Put it apart. It's not. We don't need to talk.
Oh, okay,
about
like set it apart.
Yeah, set it apart.
Yeah, no, and we don't have to talk about that stuff.
Yes.
But I've talked about it on all podcasts. I don't care. Like he was an abusive guy and not good. And to this day, I'm still dealing with stuff, from my childhood. And the way now I'm a dad, and my sole goal is, for me to raise my son in the complete opposite way I was raised, Mm-hmm. And it's the best to see my son being confident and happy, having a happy kid. And he loves you so much. You guys have such a cool relationship.
It's beautiful.
It's such a beautiful relationship.
Yes,
really,
it is.
It
is.
It's the best. It's the best. Mm-hmm. He thinks you're like, he thinks you're a god. He does.
Don't change that.
No. He thinks you're like God's gift to earth. And whenever I say anything to you, he's like, Papa, abuelita's right. He defends you to no end. That's and he thinks you're the best. And I think also grandparents, and we were talking about this earlier, they see grandkids and it's almost like they how quickly that goes by, and therefore you appreciate it so much more. And also like they're your blood, but also without all the drama of having kids and teenagers who don't like you or whatever, No, I love your relationship with my son, with your grandson.
It's a gift. It's wonderful. It's really wonderful.
Yeah, it's the best.
Yes,
it's the best for both of you. He has the best time with you. You have the best time.
And it's like you're right. You see your own kids, no, and you appreciate more, and you want to enjoy every time because it goes so fast.
Yeah.
For me, you were a kid a few years ago, and I see you.
Oh yeah, and that brings me back to you came to this country in your 40s, in your mid 40s.
45.
What's it like to start over again? I'm having I'm struggling or whatever, I mean, I'm okay, but I'm still figuring my stuff out and bills to pay and whatever. And I'm in my 40s and I've been here since I was 18. And what's it like? What is it like to? And by the way, I'm going to say that because this actually, we did a movie together called Alta California.
Yes.
And the events of why we ended up here is part of the movie.
Yes.
In Peru, my dad got into a lot of debt, right? Mm-hmm. And then we lost everything. We had a house. We had service quarters. We had maids, driver, cars, swimming pool, 7-bedroom house.
Yes.
In a beautiful neighborhood, and we lost everything. And that's how we ended up here. What is it like to start your life from zero at 45 as an immigrant at that age? What was that like?
Well, what it convinced me, because I was trying to get a job and I was rejecting in my resume, not because the things that I did, it's because my age. And in one resume, I didn't put my age. I put just whatever I was, I did, my experiences and everything. And the company finally called me. And when she said, you are wonderful, but you're too old.
Oh, man.
And I was 45, and okay. Then I say, you know what? If we have to start over with my kids, because in Peru, if you have certain level, certain status, you cannot go down. If you go down, it's terrible. The
Escándalo.
pressure, the scandal
Yeah.
is like, okay, your kids are not. And in Peru, you have to be. Your kids has to be in a private school.
Private school. If you're middle class or above, you have to go to private
Yeah,
school.
private school, because public schools are really, I think, still really
and then
bad.
you have to have
no?
a maid and nanny and all that.
Look, we were
Yeah.
not rich people, and at some point we have two maids.
Yes, one cooked, one clean.
A lady that came twice a week to do the laundry, and a chauffeur. Can you imagine? Is what
Yeah, a driver, yeah.
I say, wow, my gosh, I remember that. It's unbelievable. But
Yeah.
anyway, it
And
was.
by the way, I do want to say, now that I'm a single dad taking care of my son, like, I'm sorry, but you had it so much easier than me as a parent.
Well, I have 3 kids.
You had- but
and
you
I
had so
work.
much help.
Yes. Oh,
Oh my God.
course.
Yeah.
Of course. I don't know if I would have 3 kids here.
No
Forget
way.
it.
Yeah.
But it's very difficult. There you have your family also support you. Your
Yeah.
grandmother. My mother was not in the.
I just
in the
realized I've
picture.
never asked you this before. If it was part of our life, but yeah. What was it like in your mid-40s to lose everything in Peru? I went to Germany because I got that scholarship,
Yes, you have a
thankfully, at the
scholarship
same
in
time.
Germany.
And I remember they offered it to me, and I was like, no, I'm going to go with my family to the United States. And you were like, who's that? Oh, they offered me a scholarship to go to Germany. You're like, give me the fucking phone.
Give me
and
the
then
phone.
it's like, he's going. And 2 weeks later, I was in Germany.
Yes.
But what's that like to lose everything, start from zero, complete uncertainty of what was going to happen here? You have 3 kids. One of them is shipped off to Germany. What's that? And your youngest one is what, 12? No.
11.
So what was that like? That sounds terrifying to me.
You know what? Once again, I have in front of me a decision about get depressed, and I be a poor woman here with all the people that I know. I will be rejected. I will be
In
my
Peru.
kids. I have to take my kids out of the school, the private school, or I do whatever I want, whatever I can to go with my kids to this country and start all over. Because here I don't have opportunity to start all over. And I talked to your dad,
Yeah.
and I say, look, we are going to United States, but you will change. You
Yeah.
won't treat us bad anymore. I go and I will fight with you. I will work with you. I will do whatever is necessary to give a good life to our kids.
Yeah.
But you change. You have to change.
Yeah.
And that was
And
the problem. He didn't.
But here's a good thing.
He didn't.
He didn't make it in this country, because we were willing to do whatever it takes to get ahead
Yes.
and make and survive in this country.
Yes.
And whatever that is, really, he just didn't have it. I think he was very spoiled as a kid
Yes,
and very
probably.
enabled by his family always taking care of him.
Yes.
That I think that just
Probably.
it doesn't equip you with what you need to survive in this country, but you came from a very privileged upbringing, and you were willing to do whatever. Like, I remember you working as a telemarketer, and you had to wake up at 5 a.m. to go somewhere.
Because I have 2 jobs at
Yeah.
that time. No,
Uh-huh.
one was 5 to 1, and then the other I have to travel all the way to Bellflower. I was working in a advertising company. I was lucky. I didn't want to, but it's not bad. You do whatever you want to, whatever you need to do in order to take your kids. But I was lucky. I have the opportunity to work in real estate. I start as an assistant or whatever, no? I start working in real estate and in this advertising company. Then I changed to a magazine and it was a Colombian
I remember
magazine.
that. Yeah.
And my last name is Escobar. And I was making jokes. hey, come on, I am an Escobar. Better buy the advertising for me. I have very powerful family. Ha ha ha. No, but it was good. It was good because it was fun.
You liked it. Yeah.
Yes. And I did it, and I still working. Well, I'm kind of semi-retired now as a realtor.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, and you guys also for a while now with your husband, who's by the way amazing and such a great grandfather to my son too. We love him very much.
Thank you.
But also, you guys now you're so happy. Also, you have found financial stability. You flipped houses at one point. Now you're in real estate and doing that and investing in like rental properties.
Yes.
So you guys I've done that. I love that you guys do that together. Which is great. I mean, the American dream, right? That's what you want, right? Yeah. That's what you were hoping to find.
Yes, well, he was always in the car industry, and he was very in finance, a finance manager, management.
Yeah.
And he was doing very well. When I came to his life, when we met, he was working in Mercedes-Benz at that time.
Yeah.
And I was working in real estate. And at some point, when 2013, 2014 was when it was, I worked with someone that they were doing short sales, and they gave me all the people that they couldn't help to save the house and just to sell it. But I was trying to get from the banks as much money as possible because I was so sorry. The suffering of the people was really sad because previously, was these loans that were so easy. You don't need to have a job to pay a loan. And it was ridiculous, really.
Yeah.
The people were losing their houses like nothing.
Oh my God! Yeah,
it was hard, but usually in these difficult times, sometimes it was a good thing for my work, no? But I get the opportunity to learn a lot. That's what I like. And after that, your dad. It's not your stepfather, no?
No, I mean, your husband is my. I tell people that all the time. He is my stepdad, but it's just weird to call him that because I'm an adult, like I'm not. But he's my son's grandfather. That's how I see him.
Yes, he is.
I see him that way.
He's really a great grandfather.
But I guess he's my stepdad. Yes. But it just feels so gross to call him that, because I'm just because I'm an old guy, so it's kind of weird. But technically he is. Yeah.
No, he's a great
dude.
Dude.
No, I'm glad you found him, and I'm glad I gave you away to him. So were you? Well, I think I know the answer to this, but were you scared though when you were here starting in this? Because you definitely did make the best of it, but were you scared?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course I was scared, but I took a decision, and I feel strong that I will go forward. I was lucky because at the beginning we went to Pennsylvania, and in Peru you live with this group of friends that they are very elegant and party here, party there. And I went to a group that they called the newcomers of the mainland. It was a group like the Sacred Heart. It was amazing.
Oh yeah.
But yes, and I remember.
Were you in a bowling league when you first got here, and there was a blind woman in your bowling team?
Yes, they have a bowling team, and the blind woman was the only one that was worse than me. I know.
Yeah,
but in sports, I was never good in sports.
Yeah, neither was my dad, so none of us are very athletic.
Yeah,
if you think
but
about
now
it.
I'm doing pickleball.
Pickleball, pickleball, yeah.
Yes.
Nice. So that takes me to, once I told you that I'm doing stand-up comedy, which is really when I was doing the master's in education, hated it. I've always secretly wanted to try the arts, but I never told you, really. I never told anybody. I never told my partner at the time either. And then we did my first open mic, and I was like, this is it. This is what I've always knew I wanted to do, and this is who I am, And once I told you that, you were like fully supportive of that. And then once I told you I was going to make this movie, this feature film called Alta California, you were also fully on board. And immediately I thought of you as the role for the mother. It's inspired. You could tell how inspired it is by our story, right? This movie.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
As we came here, and we used to have wonderful level of life in
Yeah.
Peru, as
In
you
Peru,
tell,
yeah.
a house with a pool and maids and main courts. It was incredible, no?
Yeah.
We have the house and we have 2 bedrooms, and in the back we have 2 bedrooms with a bathroom for the maids.
Yes, no, I
And
remember.
they, well, that
and no
it-
and no windows.
For
They
the
didn't have
maids.
windows. They didn't have windows.
They
So
didn't
fucked
have-
up.
No, a little one.
No,
They-
it was
they-
so small.
Oh, come on.
So
No,
bad.
but
Yeah.
we treat them well. But you know what?
I don't know about that.
No, I will say something. Now
Yeah.
that I see how is life here,
But
you
I
have
feel,
to
now
do
I feel
everything.
guilty.
No, really. When I remember, I say, my gosh, it's like, yeah. And if you lose the maid, it was like, oh no, I have to go to the hospital to the psychologist or something
Yeah.
because I lost my maid. But amazing, because they were working sometimes at 7 a.m. They prepare the lunchbox for the kids and breakfast for everybody. Then the kids goes and then they clean the house, they clean and then you call from my work. I was working with your dad. I go, hey, I have 3 couples or 10 couples that are coming home. Please prepare this food. Go to the supermarket,
my
buy this
God.
and this, and they were paying attention and taking care of like, oh,
But
it's
that's,
like,
that's terrible. I think
they're
that's terrible.
It
I
was
think
terrible.
living conditions, terrible working
Terrible
conditions.
for them.
Work
I'm
to-
glad.
Work to
I'm
the
glad.
work to the bone.
Oh, yes.
And I'm so ashamed actually
Yes,
that we did
yes,
that. You know?
absolutely.
Yeah.
But I born like that. I was used to that.
No,
That
I
was
get it. Me too.
normal.
I wasn't complaining back
Yes.
then. I wasn't.
And you know
by
what
the way,
maid
now
say?
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know one maid, the last maid, what was
Yeah.
her name? I don't remember. But
Maria?
the last name, she told me, lady, your kids are too spoiled. They don't do nothing
No.
at the house. You will go to United States. She stayed with me almost until the last days, no? You will. This will be different.
Is that
And
the one
say,
that ended up
"Oh,
working with mi tía Liz? Ese fue cuando los Cotle afterwards.
I don't remember.
Florenza.
Lorenza.
Eso, there you go. Yeah.
Yes, Lorenza.
She was so nice.
Lorenza. My
it's,
Lorenza, I miss her so
I
much.
didn't fold a piece of clothing until I moved to this country. The first time I had to fold clothes was in the United States. Because in Germany, it was the nuns. you know,
Yes,
so-
in Germany
so
you have
exactly.
an amazing life.
Yeah. So my life was still spoiled because it was a private boarding school, also super
Yeah.
elitist, and I just had a scholarship. But
Yes.
and yeah, it was. They didn't see me as German. Obviously, they saw me as maybe less than. But my life was still pretty privileged. So yeah, then I came here, and it's like, yeah, it's crazy. My room was always so messy because I had never cleaned, you know. So my son's definitely not being raised that way, and I'm
Yeah.
glad that he's not being raised that
Yes.
way, you know.
Yes.
But yeah, it was the culture. We were just used to living that way. What was it like then when we did the movie? Well, first of all, you came as an actress. You did a great job, by the way.
Thank
and then you
you.
also helped me find a couple of locations. We're supposed to
Yes.
film something at a restaurant, but that didn't work out. And then you were working at a real estate office, and we changed that into a couple of locations
Yes.
for our movie. We didn't ask anybody for permission. We just did it when people were not there, which was so cool. And it all worked out because the cleaning crew was there at that time, and we needed to pretend that our main actor was a janitor.
Yeah, of course.
So it all just worked out. It worked out wonderfully and magically almost, you know.
Yeah.
So then you became my executive producer, and I guess. Yeah, the first question is what was that experience like to make that movie? To be directed by your son. What was that like?
Very rich. It was very rich. For
Yeah.
me, you know, to see you, how do you direct, how you put things together. I was very proud and happy that
That you were part of
life
that?
gave me that opportunity.
Yeah, in a way it's your comeback to the arts because it's your comeback to the arts. Like you're performing again in a
Yes.
movie that your son is directing. Isn't
Yeah,
that crazy?
it
And then we
was really
traveled.
good.
We did the film festivals together too.
Yes, it was amazing.
Yeah, I cried a few times during that, and no, it was such a great experience.
Yeah.
And also, by the way, whenever I tell people, either when it's like online dating or in person or whatever, whenever I want to be like, I say, yeah, I made a movie and I put my mom in it, you know. And they're like, oh my god.
Oh, that's a good
They
line.
love it.
It's a good line.
They love it. They get like, they go crazy. Yeah, they go crazy.
And it's
so yeah,
true.
so thank you.
Yeah.
You've
You're
gotten me.
welcome.
You know.
Okay, good.
That's awesome. So yeah, we're gonna be releasing the movie soon.
Oh,
And
So excited about
I'm
that.
excited about that. It's not exactly that way we were hoping for to find distribution or whatever, but you know what? Sometimes things don't work out the way you want to, but you roll with the punches and you make the best of it. And I think it's going to be great to release it and just let everybody see it, you know? So I'm
It's
excited
your
about
first
that.
movie.
No, yeah.
Yes, of
We won
course.
awards. We were nominated. We have done so much.
We're amazing.
With that budget. So I checked, and pretty much the festivals that we got into, like, we are the lowest. We're definitely the lowest budget of this year, but we're also, for the most part, the lowest budget feature film accepted in the entire history of all those festivals.
Incredible. That's
so
incredible.
I'm really proud of that.
Of course.
And we did that together. I think that's really, really cool.
And your movie was in the Chinese theater too.
Chinese theaters of
to
Hollywood.
get there is not that easy.
No, and we packed it. We filled the room. You told all your friends.
Ah,
The
yes.
Peruvian community came out. Your friends came out to see
They
you.
were very
It was
supportive.
pretty awesome. Yeah,
Yes.
that was really amazing. That was one of the best experiences ever.
Yeah.
And then I guess just to finish this off, what's the dream now for you? What's the dream?
Well, now I kind of semi-retire, still doing real estate whenever I get the opportunities. I'm past client that call me, and but I am kind of semi-retired. And my oldest daughter, she encouraged me to write a book, and I am into that.
Yeah.
I'm writing, and you know what? It's like you recreate your past, and that is very, very good for your soul
Yes,
too.
yes.
It's very good. I love that my daughter inspired me and said, "Mom, do it." At some point, I will see your book, I will read your book, I will edit it, I will help you
Oh,
to
that's
go
awesome.
forward with your book.
Yeah.
I don't know where I will go with this, but yes, the process is amazing. I'm really very grateful to
You've talked
my
about this
daughter.
before, about wanting to write a book. You've talked about it many times.
Well, it says that you have to have a kid, plant a tree, and write a book, right?
Yeah.
I plant several trees. I have 3 kids. I accomplished that. Now I have to write a book. Is what I'm doing now.
Can I make a movie instead? Is that cool? Because then I'm done, you know? Yeah. I made a movie. No, because it's about legacy, leaving stuff behind, right?
I know.
So since I made a movie, I'm
I
good, right?
know, but that's not your that's the beginning of your
No,
legacy.
but I'm saying like that's a book because it's a script. So it counts, right?
It counts.
More visual.
Okay.
In your book, are you
I
gonna...
don't think you planted tree in your life.
No, I need to plant a tree. Do you know what you're going to call it or not yet?
No, not yet. The title will come. I am just start recreating my past.
Yes. I was
That
just going to say, because you had a really tough childhood, like really horrific
really
childhood.
bad,
So are you
really
going
bad.
to, are you willing to go into that?
That's why it's
Yeah.
a way to cure my soul.
Yeah.
Is the way to do it, and it was wonderful. I really love the inspiration of my oldest daughter, and I'm happy to have the 3 kids that I have. All of
The
them
3
are
kids that you have.
the 3 kids.
You said
that
3.
I
Okay.
have.
I thought you said
I said
2, and I was like, fuck.
No, you
Yeah,
wait.
yeah,
No,
yeah.
are you crazy? No, are 3. And my oldest daughter, my youngest daughter, my son.
Your only son.
All of them are
But you have
doing
2 daughters. So like, there's 2 of them. But I'm your only son. And that's
Yes.
special.
Well, you will always be my favorite son.
I am the best. Anything
Because
else?
you are my only son.
I am your only son.
But we don't talk about my daughters. That I have 3 kids, and they are my favorite because each of them, they have a lot, including my younger
Or they
kid.
are a lot.
I'm very, you are a lot.
I am a
I'm
lot,
very,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
I am very happy. Really, that is part of what I consider my success in life, my kids.
That's awesome. Yeah. You're a good mom. You're a fantastic grandmother. We love you very much.
Thank you. I love you too.
Anything else you want to say?
I'm glad that you say that. Remember,
So the movie's coming out soon.
Yes,
Check it out.
yes, I'm excited about it.
altamovie.com on April 24th will be
Oh
coming
my
out.
gosh.
So it's coming out.
April 24th.
April 24th. Yeah. All right.
We will see it.
Yeah. Thank you
Yes.
for coming. Thank you for doing this.
No, of course.
Yeah, that was fun.
And I am a local foreigner.
Thank you
Am
for
I?
getting the name right finally. Thank you. Bye. Okay, done.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can I see it?
No.
Tiago can see the videos and I cannot.
¿De qué hablas? No entiendo.